Welcome to A Good Pour. This is conversations about good work with leaders of businesses in our community. Today we have Jonathan Kidd, president of Uniform Solutions in Scrub Hub, and he is here because you actually were a big catalyst for me starting the business to begin with.
Yeah.
And that was good work in of itself. I don't know if you think of it that way, but we were sitting in early January of 2021 at a Young Life, I guess it was a leaders kind of retreat, and someone asked us all, what's your talent? And I said very sheepishly, like I was very new. And I had just lost my job like 3 weeks before. And I said, I think I'm getting ready to start my business. I had not told my husband. It came out of nowhere. And you looked at me and said, what kind of marketing do you do? And I said, I don't know. And you said, like, small business marketing? And I said, sure. And then like 3 weeks later, you hired me. I mean, it took a little bit longer, I think, for me to fully get involved. But it was the first push I needed to actually start my business. And I went home and told my husband, Seth, that I was starting my business that day. So that was all God for me, like total obedience on your part to ask that question. And so we worked together for the last 2 years or so. And I just admire how you handle business, but also really appreciate the impact you've had on my life. I don't know that I would be here without that original seed. So I appreciate that. So tell us about you. Tell us about Scrub Hub and Uniform Solutions and the good work you're doing.
Yeah, so Jonathan Kidd, and it's been a family business for a very long time. Started in 95, and I was 11 years old. And so just kind of grew up in it. And in 2009, my dad came in my office and said, hey, are you ready to run this thing? And I was not. And but I said yes. You don't say no to opportunities. And so I said yes, and so stumbled my way through, leadership and being a bad boss, and I noticed all the good people were gone, and I was left, and I was like, well, I'm the issue, so you got to reevaluate yourself. And so I did that and changed a lot of things, and we've been growing ever since. And thankfully, with the Lord's help, we've grown year after year. I've never had a down year. And even in the economy the way it was in 08, 09, we still grew through that. And it's transformed into 4 stores now. And then we serve groups online through web stores that we build and maintain throughout the country. So we have accounts all the way from California, all the way down to Florida and Northeast. So it's been great. It's been great.
So the product you mostly work with are scrubs. That
mainly
healthcare providers.
Mainly medical uniforms. Probably about 70% of what we do is medical, and then the other 30% is like workwear type stuff for construction, front office people, things of that nature, apparel. We work with schools now and do a lot of screen printing. We own our own monogramming company as well. That happened in 2020 with me and my older brother. We, instead of outsourcing all that, we do that all in-house now. So that's helped. So serve mainly medical.
How has being a family business impacted the way you can do good work through the business?
Yeah, so not a lot of, when you kind of grow up in the family business and then you start to run it, I don't have to really ask for a lot of approvals, that kind of thing. And being that we are a faith-based family, any kind of giving we want to do, as long as the money is there, we just do it. What's great is we've planning on digging 1 water well a year in impoverished countries with Reaching 360. Y'all can go to reaching360.org and find out more about that. A guy named Jeff Gregory here locally runs that ministry. So our plan is to do 1 a year with that. We're able to sponsor for Young Life in Sumner County personally, and then with the business too. And then we also support a missionary in Rome, Italy.
Oh, wow.
As
I didn't
well.
know about that one.
Yeah, it's actually one of my mom's cousins. So whenever you're working in a family business, it's just basically like, hey, this is what's on my heart to do. I have the money to do it. Can we do it? yes, you go from there. We're not having to call board meetings and all that, so you can move a lot quicker.
That's awesome.
So.
How did you pick the nonprofits that you were involved with?
Well, for Young Life, I was just invited by my pastor, Aaron Allison, to a Young Life banquet. Had no idea really what it was. I went to one Young Life meeting in college, so that's the only experience I had. But got to be good friends with Daniel Becker and saw what the ministry was about, and so I really wanted to support it. So we just started supporting it. I guess probably around 2015, 2016, whenever it came here to Sumner County. With Reaching 360, when Jeff Gregory started that ministry, I knew that was something we needed to get behind. So again, I just started doing it. And then with my mom's cousin in Rome, whenever they were asking for support, that's what we wanted to do. And we just, in Mark, the book of Mark, it says even the Son of God came to serve and not to be served, and to give his life as a ransom for many. And so that's kind of the attitude of our company. We're here to serve. So if we have the funds to do that, we need our funds to be doing that too. So.
One of the things I've admired about your business is taking care of employees. You do expect good work from them. But when good work is given, you pour out good work to them too. And just in the sense of taking care of them, how does culture impact the good work that you do just on a day-to-day basis? Not necessarily giving, but just to charities, but that culture of doing good, treating people nicely when they walk in the door to shop with you, just that kind of culture of treating people well.
Yeah. So, long time ago, my dad had told us all that worked in the business, when someone comes in the door, they don't have to be here. And even, with the internet and all that, of course, we're selling online, but they don't have to walk in your store. And so whenever someone walks in your store, it's like someone's walking to your home that you haven't seen in several years, and you need to stop what you're doing. You need to acknowledge them. May I help you? Not, what are you looking for? Can I help you find something? Hey, we're over here if you need anything. So just having a servant's heart when it comes to helping people. You never know who's walking in your door. One day a lady walked in and she didn't tell me who she was, and she wouldn't tell me who she was. She said, hey, I just need to see the lines that you carry. So I spent about an hour with her, and she didn't buy anything. And at the end, she said, okay, now I'm going to tell you who I am. And she did. And from that one interaction I had, it's probably about 20% of our business now. It was somebody with HCA, and now we serve HCA all around the country. So it just kept piggybacking off of that one interaction we had. So treating people the right way, it does pay off. And again, we do that because Christ loved us, so we love others. So that's where it comes from. But the return on that, in business is monetary return, So, but as far as employees go, especially with young people coming up today, if you go above and beyond, you're going to stand out. Not just clocking in, clocking out, doing your time, but people that are in the position to reward that work, we want to do that. So those that do that, yes, you can grow. And so that's kind of how we look at our employees, and we really appreciate them, appreciate the work they do. So, yeah.
Good. You also are very good at knowing what's going on in their life. As a vendor, you asked about my kids and husband. So I think that that's part of the good work you do, is just knowing what's going on in other people's lives. Yeah. And again, that goes back to taking care of people, but it's one level deeper of tell me what's going on, and you do that well. So thank you.
I kind of have an open door policy in my office. Hey, if my door's open, if you ever need anything, my door's open. And trying to work with employees, that maybe like Shauna, she went to have her second baby, and I was like, hey, you can work at home. So that worked out for a while pretty good. And just, being in touch, not being a boss that's just distant.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to comment really quick on your dads, treat people like they're coming into your home. I've told that story to other businesses I work with, because you're exactly right. You wouldn't let someone just come in and find their way to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You wouldn't let someone come in and, make themselves at home, without, what do you need? Would you like something to drink? And too often we do that in stores these days of just letting, somebody will ask me if they have a question, but we would never just let someone in our house that way. Right. So that has really stuck out to me too. So you run a business, you have to make money in order to give money away. When we're not, it's hard to take care of people when things are stressful, for example. How do you kind of balance this, wanting to do good work, wanting to treat people well, and still manage a business?
I just look at money as a tool. And so if you have more tools in your toolbox, you can do more things with your tools. You can fix more things. You can repair more things. So the balance for me for that is just seeing money as a tool and knowing that those tools are growing, not only because of anything I've done, but because of our employees, because of our reputation, those kind of things. And all glory goes back to God for that. So I just really look at money as a tool.
Awesome. What is one good thing that is helping you in business right now?
Right now, I would have to say two things. One is our employees. We have great employees. My older brother Jacob, who runs all of our stores, he's implemented a lot of things the last 2-3 months that have really helped. So I would say our employees, number one, and then number two, obviously, is the power we have to build these web stores around the country, and we're able to serve more people than I ever dreamed we would be able to serve, and just basically a tool, I guess you would say, of just a do it now type attitude, to where we just don't wait on things, like we get it done. So having that kind of mentality is very profitable, but yeah, I'd say our employees and the power of these web stores that we build right now.
So why are scrubs so important? If someone's in the healthcare industry and they're working all day long, why are scrubs so important? I don't think before I started working with you, I never thought about it. Why? Right. What's the difference in between scrubs?
Well, you gotta be comfortable when you're working 10-12 hours. A lot of these nurses are working 12-hour shifts, and they need something comfortable to wear. They need something that's going to be reliable for them and last a long time. So we sell great products. But for me, I'm a builder. I like building things. So I could really kind of do anything as long as I'm building a business, building people. So the scrubs are just what I'm doing to do that. But being able to serve people in the medical community that prior to 2020 probably got overlooked quite a bit. It's rewarding, to know that you're helping people and selling products that are antimicrobial. Bacteria is not going to get on them, that kind of thing. Trying to keep people healthy, so that's cool too. But it basically just being a builder of a business and being able to serve through that. And it's just the medical community that I get to serve. So, yeah.
How do you, we've talked about family a lot just in our work together. And I know you teach your kids about good work all the time. Talk about your family a little bit. And do you hope to have this legacy continue with your kids, or how do you teach them good work? And I mean, you wear a ton of hats. In our work together, you're tired. I mean, especially coming off 2020 and the impact of COVID on your business. So you're coming home and you've got 2 young boys and a wife, a beautiful wife that's a teacher. But how are you teaching good work and really the potential of a family legacy with them? Do they talk about Scrub Hub? Is there any interest in this being a family legacy? And if not, or even if so, how are you teaching them good work? Because I know that's important, and the legacy you leave to them is very important.
So no, let's see, one's 12 and he's all about football, and one's 10 and he's all about everything. So no, they're not talking about Scrub Hub at all, or Uniform Solutions. But they one of them knows what he wants to do, and my role as a father with work is to to show a good example. When they ask, tell, don't divulge too much, but just share with them, and let them see me work. I've seen families where the man doesn't work that much, and then the kid doesn't have a good work ethic. I've also seen it where the man works too much, and the kid doesn't have a good work ethic because he resents his father for working so much. So I make a point. I try to be home every night by 5:00, no later. It used to be 7:00 because there used to be some really long days. So there was some times that I did miss, and there's regret there. But I just had to look at my life after the whole COVID thing and say, I can only do so much. And so letting them see me work, letting them hear about the good things that our company is doing, I think is important. But just teaching them a work ethic in general, which is, I'm seeing more and more the ages that are continuing to come to work, every year. Sometimes that work ethic is not there. And sometimes it is. Like I said, we have a great crop of employees right now, a good team, and they have great work ethics, but you see people come through and they don't. Yeah. And so my number one goal, whatever they want to do in life, I want them to follow what they want to do, what their passions are, what the Lord's leading them to do, but just really teaching them how to work, and that, this just doesn't happen. A business just doesn't happen. A family business in the second generation doesn't just happen. You have to be very intentional with it. So just showing them those things and talking to them when they ask, that's basically what I do with them with work.
So how can someone, especially someone in the medical industry, get involved with the good work that you're doing? Yeah,
so they can go to one of our two websites. Our company is kind of split into two different sections. One is uniformsolutions.net, and that kind of tells you about the group side of our business, these national groups, local groups. If you have one or more offices that needs outfitted, that's kind of the information you go to. If you want a retail side of things, the retail stores and a retail web experience would be scrubhub.com. And you can see kind of where we give all of our giving that we do through Reaching 360, Young Life, and RPM Global. It can all be found on those websites.
And you do have 4 locations in Middle Tennessee,
correct? We have 4. We have downtown Nashville, we have Murfreesboro, we have Cookeville, and Hendersonville.
Great. Well, it is an honor to know you. I'm truly grateful for just our working relationship. And again, just you helped me start this business. So thank you.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.